Hey, Mecha. Oh, I just realized my volume's really, really low. I'm so sorry, everyone. There you go. A bit more volume for the initial fight. Taeyeon gets the stun down, but I think because his Eclipse is off, I think the Black Cleaver gets more extended fight value, and it does. Kill goes to Dernby.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
So, the classic grubs for Dragon Trade early on. It's half HP. Some of his healing pot denied as well. I don't even know which comp is better. Poppy can be enough against that team, and we'll see whether Shanji is enough with Aki on the top side, ult through the Impale, and a bit of a nasty play for Q. But Shanji, even with the Needlework, is probably going to go down. Aki will return it 1-for-1, and now has a Q, potentially going to Q. But he'll make it out. Aki has ult, has no flash. I mean, okay, they want to smite 1. They need to stop the 6. You need to stop 6 coming through, but that's why W... Whoa, fails the wall stun. Oh, Vampire, that's just not it, is it? Aki gets out with his own ults, and Doomby steals the Impale, gets a triple. Karis will get him back into the mix, but here comes the Needlework. It feels like WWE have just messed up their engage a little bit too much. And IP take themselves an immediate 3. W look for the turn off for the grubs, and instead... Can you tell I was a Rome Total War player? Monkey, drive binds the mid lane, and the flash stun works this time from Vampire. Both summoners use it. Now we have a teleport coming in from Derby, who does use the Ezreal. Goes forwards, and Taeyeon does not have any more HP. 1-for-1, both AD carries taken down. Monkey going forwards again for a flash wall stun. Not really sure about that one. This ends up in a grand scheme of things. I used to speak a bit of Spanish. And then yeah, I forgot it. I was going to get started up by NIP. They were absolutely not ready for the sides with his ERR, because he stole it when he looked for that pick earlier. Uses that ult very, very well. Alright, so Vampire, no flash now. Oh, and he's engaged onto around the side. The W doesn't land from the gym, but I think Vampire's dead anyway. His creative engage is just a creative trip towards a coffin. Jhin ult comes through, and the Impale stolen just to make sure that Cube is stuck in place. Monkey does get a decent playthrough to keep Shanji into the fight. PP got getting a little bit lower. And Karis with a decent ult himself, but it's just not enough. Again, it feels like WWE, their start to their fights are so poor that they struggle to make... Dragon started up in the picture-in-picture. Vampire just Hex flashed over the wall. Poppy ult. Ooh, traded for that. Both Poppy ults thrown out. Doomby hit. We'll say WWE is putting up a better fight than expected. I don't think it's been that great a fight. Aki has the ult and goes through the Poppy W, which doesn't get stopped by that steadfast presence. He has gone a little too far, though, maybe. Doomby going forwards. Monkey stuck in the play, no flash. At least to not that much. Carol still needs to be defended in this mid lane. Karis taking the bot side turret. How's it going next? Oh, ult back. Shanji does have PP got around. Is that enough? You have the Needlework, but you don't have that much defenses left. The last Needlework does come through. They don't have the damage. Karis will make it out alive. W find themselves a pick on a side lane. Doomby did have teleport. Didn't want to spend it on that. Has the 10-stack Rod of Ages now for the extra level. Jack's pushing in the bot side. So actually, W making some decent inroads on side lanes right now. Jack's going towards the inner turret. Has the Demolish. Does he take the full turret hit? Aki called down to wave clear. Get some of this. Cube is going to get the turret. I think Aki probably kills him. Stun through. Use the ward over. Aki solo kill onto Cube, who dies for the inner turret. Turret taken by W in top side. Easily for them. 4 growth makes it easier for them to hit it. NIP, this Alex. Is... Max. I'm Alex. Monkey pushed over the wall by the blast cone. Ooh, uses the Impale. Maybe Vampire can do something else. Monkey finding an awesome angle. And Doomby steals the Poppy ult, but all instead is hammering nails into his own coffin. And suddenly Atacon started up by WE. NIP now really missing that summoner of Shanji's teleport from earlier. WE, honestly, just playing the map a little bit better. As Atacon starts to get burst down. Do NIP have an angle? No silence for the damage this time. No Impale, of course, by Monkey. It is an important tool to be down. And they are getting shredded by the Atacon. Vampire going towards, and this time does get the wall stun on to the Rel. Rel does have the flash. Used the Magnustorm first. Maybe should have flashed out a little earlier. And probably should have done flashes and dies anyway. PP got my dude. What is happening here? NIP playing in their own home arena. Would not want to disappoint their fans, but this is looking like it's bringing a bead of sweat out onto the forehead. WE outplaying NIP on the map. And a good engage this time by Monkey. That's gone being taken down to half. Aki does have flash, does have ult. They're looking for a steal now. That's what they're looking for. Dermby could come up towards the play again. Leaf still available, but no ults. So his range is diminished somewhat. Dermby has the Q, has the flash. Can he get over? Chooses not to. Could have flashed and ulted. Monkey going forwards. Full GAs up for WE. Grouping up, looking for a fight. Basically even in gold now as well. Gets a good pick off there. And he's going towards topside. Alright. Maybe he's starting to feel a little bit better about himself. Manages to bring out that hallowed mist. Shanji starts pulling up the needle. But again, NIP not playing well on the side lanes. Monkey much better at getting towards the punch there. Now Barry Genji went to game 3 versus DK. What the hell? Wait, they chose that. Wow. Okay, I didn't realize that. I won't spoil you for that pick and chat. That's insane. Alright, I didn't think they would go to a game. This is Irkan solo carry now at this point. Wait, what? That is an insane jungle. Vex Z? Are you kidding me? Wow, okay, some people will need to watch that VOD back. I will need to watch that VOD back. That's insane. WE, 2,000 gold advantage. This Azir is insane. So now the job, the mission for NIP is to somehow get, stop this Azir from team fighting. But the problem is... out. Oh, flash for flash, Monkey. Trying to catch out Aki. Any pick now, I think, could actually just end the game. Vampire will get a wall stun potentially, and he does. Third turn goes forwards. The teleport comes through. There is an ult, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Vampire is going to die, but that's not the important person. Taeyon dying, that is a bit more important, but Karis is the main carry, and he goes down too. Oh, WE, things were looking good, but they've lost both their carries. Lever's alive, and he's the last damage really available alongside Dermby. Cube getting through those auto attacks, though. Maybe the Jax can also add through something into it as well. The Riftmaker, not enough to keep the Silas alive, but it will be a 5-for-3 WE. Throw the last of their Baron buff to the wind. That's been one of... That's his worst game he's played in years, actually. Vision being traded over the place. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds will be sold for NIP. W potentially looking for a big old play. Vampire not in position to get a wall stun, and now Dermby has the Impale. And we'll trade that on to Monkey. He has no flash. Karis has not got any damage just down yet, and the pop ult comes in late. Monkey down, no smite for the dragon. Oh, that's disappointing for WE. That's an easy one. That is an easy one. See, even with just a couple of auto attacks, Karis completely shredding through NIP. But they just get, come on, at least try and let Karis outplay. I mean, I feel like you should have just gone towards the dragon anyway. The Baron goes down, but Shanji quickly taking down that bot side turret. Gwen's split pushes very, very effectively, of course. Of course, he was 3.8k gold ahead, now 2.8k. 2,000 gold advantage in top lane. Cube on the Jax's struggle. That's a decent Impale. That might get away some of the engage. PP God still has flash and chooses not to use it and instead dies. And if you're not wanting to buy into a full fight there, of course, Monkey, not a great game, which is a shame because WE, I think they really need Monkey to do stuff, really. Oh, does get himself the Wolves, but he's solo HP. Jhin not going to get the third shot, but gets the fourth, and the Scorpion goes down. Scorpions can breathe on the leave. What a shot. And that's just going to be the end of the game. WE, they lose Monkey a couple of times and they decide, well, we can't fight without our jungler. That'd be rude. Lose an inhibitor. Oh, I can't remember. Whatever. Cube on the side lane. Hit with one Jhin bullet. Flashed away from the second. And the ult goes through the fourth shot just on the edge. Cube goes down. Oh, leaves Jhin. It's so fun to watch. Comboed up with well by NIP. Playing around the Fog of War or NIP, denying some vision, trying to play out the bush break. Okay. Slice opposition, bone plating down on Vampire. Leave. Oh, trying to use... Oh, look at that, though. Really well played from Leave to use that rapid fire can basically for poke. Gets almost the fourth shot. Very nearly curves the bullet again, but that's split the team. Oh, WE. It's Leave who's pulled them apart. Can they finish off the kills? Vampire has flash, tries to go for the wall stun, but misses it again, starting the game as he ends it. Oh, Vampire. Yeah, don't let this man go outside. The sunlight will kill him. Karis. Oh, now he can't even do the damage either. Aki just dunks down on both solo laners. Double kill for the Vi. Kills out two of the strongest members on WE. Taeyun is alive, but really, there's not much left for him to do. Leave will get one shot left, and that'll be the game. Oh, WE could not find a clean fight for the life of them. And it will be for the life of them. Nexus goes down, and NIP win the first game of the day. And especially when your front line is the Aatrox and the Wukong, you're a little less tanky than a Sion who gets rolling. So, WE needing to bounce back. BLG is actually just completely mental booming at this point. Hang on, they Q. Sion Q gets the knockup, and Leave is sat here with the Conqueror stacking up. He's going to flash over. I think this is a bit of a problem, though. I think Leave should have followed. Leave, my dude. I think if you flash over, there's a good chance you win that, by the way. Flashing forwards, Cube goes down. First blood of Shanji. Takes a couple more summoners, maybe than they wanted. 3 flashes for just the 1 on WE. But they do get themselves first blood. Don't walk the bad way back to lane. He's going to get flash pulled now. I swear to God. Is that actually going to lead to him dying? I think it might do, actually. Aki going in for a little bit more. Tower shot not going to be taken. Not sure why Aki went over the wall. And the schedule has not been even at all. Karis has no flash this time, but does get the minefield, and Aki doesn't wait for the CC and doesn't land the E, and then Vampire's going to make sure it's a 1-for-1. Aki, just wait for the CC to land! Honestly, these two, hang on a second, where's Sion going? Where did Sion go, actually? Oh, ult was popped by Cube to disengage. Vampire flashes forward, and he's gone onto the gravity field. NIP do not have flash on their support, but Vampire might go down first. No, it lasts a little longer. Aki now caught into the play, and NIP don't have the Resurrect on the right spot. Shanji's not coming to the play, and WE clean up a couple of... King is here. Now Monkey knows that Shanzi doesn't have ultimate. So their ult comes over. There is no flash. Goes over the wall. Cyclone again, still being threatened by Monkey. Doesn't have the flash, but goes forwards and is fine. Anyway, Doomby tries to stop Karis from getting around. Is there going to be an extra play to be seen? It's a 1-for-1, and you give a kill to the victor. Sanji's here anyway. Now, WE have overplayed their hand. Yes, you can see the Shinzo doesn't have his ultimate. That doesn't mean you give a double over to Doomby's victor. That'll be a quick... Right now. Yes, this is Group Ascend. They really need to prove, particularly NIP. Well, obviously NIP. W, I don't think they really have this capability. Could be up to get 2. Aatrox on the flank. That could be a problem, actually. Aatrox in a good spot. Vampire has flash, 2. Flash, level 6. Full HP. This is a good angle for an Alistar. How many carries can he get onto? Oh, Varusol hits. Shanji punted back. Of course, he's a Sion. He's tanky. The Cyclone comes through. Doesn't get that much done, and we're flashing forwards and do get at least the grub. NIP. 4-man knock-up onto them from the Alistar. That flash from Vampire was so important. 2 kills very quickly over, but NIP should... Oh, but it's the best of 5 from planes. Yes, the 4th seed of both regions does play a single best of 5 planes. Ooh, ult from Shanji, getting a decent trade onto Cube, but I don't know about this. The Black Cleaver from Aatrox and the Conqueror stacking makes it a little bit harder to take the extended trades. Helper coming in from Victor now, so giving up the dragon, and instead saying, let's go fight around the top side. The World Ender ends itself, and Cube goes down. So, NIP, quick play. And we'll convert this into a side lane turret, but they're losing pressure in both lanes now across the place. Vampire goes forwards and Leave is safe. Vampire overplaying a little bit now, and his ultimate might not even be enough to save himself. Goes down the ground majority of his HP, but NIP don't even get the top tower? Yeah, of course. Yeah, DRX won worlds for sure. Absolutely worth it mentioning that one. Shanji has ult, can go towards the top side of the map, and here he goes through the mid lane, picks up a couple, and the Herald is already gone, and Vampire tanks up the Sion engage. He might die for this, and that is a bit of a problem. Vampire, see what happens when he doesn't have the flash, doesn't have the ult, can't really play like that at all. Double kill over to Dermby. They lose the Herald, but they get a lot of gold. Now that is much better from NIP, choosing a map and give gold over to Leave instead. Now he's actually getting the farm. He's the one getting the side lane. They do lose that Herald, but I suppose seeing people on their best champions all the time from top teams, it does make it more interesting for bottom teams. In the LPL, that was less of an issue anyway, though. I think if you're talking about Fearless Draft being a problem for the LPL, I don't think you watched the LPL. Basically, we already played random stuff. But I think for, you know, bottom tier LEC, LTA teams and LCK teams, it does make a difference. But I think for our top tier teams, I want to see them on their best picks. I want to see them on their best picks. NIP. Teleport available for Shanji. This sign is very important to NIP's team fight. Monkey could go over the wall, look for a Cyclone. Has flash. Vampire has flash, full HP. Well, not full HP now. That's a problem. Half HP makes it much harder to play. Good Ezreal over the wall. Leave repositions. Aki comes in. Great ultimate from him, but he does spin the Cyclone onto his own team. Is that going to matter? No, I don't think it is. Alistar goes down. And yeah, turns out, if Alistar's not full HP, Makes it much harder to make those plays he did earlier. Vampire is the other one. You have to kind of space out from it as your melee's a little bit later on. That's gone. Goes down. NIP will get themselves the buff to all of their dragons. Be better than T1 if you couldn't get past their Caitlyn Varus bot lanes and stuff like that. Alistair gonna Hex Flash over here. Shanji does have Flash and ult. Likely you're just forcing both of these at best. The ult comes through. Flash comes over and he ults. They commit how many people? 4 people towards bot side for this? Now there is the threat of actually going under the tower again. Does he want to die for the wave click? There are 4 grubs here. Big investment here from WE. But they will get 2 turrets. Tane uses his own ultimate. Varus ult will to chunk out Aki with the arrow landing afterwards. NIP feeling a little bit of sleep on the map, but I guess Dermby's just calling, look, I'm taking in a turret, I don't care. He has a Rift Maker anyway. His 3 item is here. He's getting a lot of gold. I think Dermby's just saying, look, if I get gold, I don't care. Which is completely fine, I think, in this game. But I don't think that's true as well, if you look at Knight historically. I think that BLG are completely running it right now, so it's very hard to tell that. I think that... And if you look at BLG, I mean, you have to look at Wei, Elkanon first. And Bin's also not in great form. Bin can't even play frickin' Ambassador as a priority pick. Program Sion comes into the mid lane. Don't think he's got the best angle here, but he does just about get onto the front line. But he's dying very, very quickly, and he has been put in front of an on-hit Varus. Shinzao goes in, but he might just go down anyway. It's all on the Victor. How much can Doomby do? He is very, very fed. He needs to turn the damage around, and he has done a lot of that. Karras has to flash away. Still, 1 for none. NIP. Everyone talks about Faker's Ahri and how much he loves the champ. Do you think it's his best champ? Though it's not Faker's best champion, no. It's very good, and I think he's still a top 5. Dragon started up by NIP. I mean, with the Ruinous Outer card and stacking up Mountain Dragons, I think WE shouldn't be allowing this to go over, but what choice do they have, I suppose? Vampire lucky to get out of that one. I mean, Sion getting the resist is a problem. He did get shredded in that last fight, but gets... hang on a second. Vampire will get out of vision this time, but... The rest of the team kind of misses the memo a bit. Oh, PP got caught out by Alistair. Leon is pretty tanky. Does get a solar flare through. Is there any extra play to be made? That's a lot invested from Vampire though, and I have to say, PP got going down, but Vampire using his summoners and his ult. I actually wonder, in the current game state, because the Alistair needs to get onto the backline, I actually wonder if that's a bad thing for WE. This is that kind of thing where, you know, you are a more rookie support. You are someone that's a little bit around. But, I mean, NIP don't need to care about engages right now. Leave will jump forwards. Karras doesn't have flash and he's just dead. But the reason they walk up like this is because, you know, they think they have the support diff, but Vampire's not on the map anyway. Monkey's now caught out on the side. He might be able to 1v1 Aki. In fact, he probably does. Aki needs a little bit of help here. Pops his ultimate. Cube comes through. Taeyeon trying to get something onto that. The fight's getting very, very split. Leave is not doing damage right now. Where is Victor? Kills off one player there. Gets some damage onto Cube. Leave manages to disengage a little bit. Still has the barrier. This fight has been absolutely all over the place. Taeyeon. Oh, the snipe from Leave. Ezreal gets a last kill. And because the Alistair isn't there really achieving much with the flash and the ultimate being down, NIP can walk around these fights. This was a little bit more like a rump steak, the way his ass has been kicked a little bit later on. Great poke coming from Dermby. Dermby's been playing very well. I don't like the Roa build unless you're playing it like Dermby, being a bit more of a battle mage, someone who can walk up and be a bit more tanky. Getting good damage down too. And he can actually survive through the bruises. When he's against the Alistair and the Wukong, the Victor can actually survive these plays. Shanji's going to walk up, take the turret. Shanji's had a decent game on the Sion, I suppose. Especially for a player which I'm watching to regain some comfort. Do we have any more plays to be made from WE? Shanji has flash and all, can't really go onto him. Dragon is available, would be Mountain Soul for NIP, should have probably covered that earlier. It is being started up, Leave alone on this side of the map. But he's very, very mobile. Once you get that Shojin, as we said, you land 2 Qs, things get a bit problematic. Vampire walks up for vision and immediately loses all of his health bar. He has to use that ultimate, and now the Alistair is down. Usefulness again. Cube stunned up. Oh, hang on. Leave actually might be able to look for a jump over the wall there, I would have thought. Maybe not now. Flash. Mountain Soul over to NIP, and I think that's just game, isn't it? And it's worth noting, you know, if he puts down his Gravstorm and his Grav Field and his Arcane Storm, Chaos Storm, He gets his Riftmaker stacked up. He'll get his everything stacked up. And I mean, you don't. You have your Mountain Soul. If you go into Zhonya's after that point, just kind of revive through that. Hang on a second. Vaki bad flash there. Vampire flashes forward. I don't think that's necessarily the play you want of those. He fails the headbutt. Back. Doonby comes into the play. And look how tanky the goddamn Victor is. He's lost no HP, but he's healing up for the Aatrox. WE failing to engage again. Aki bad flash. Vampire worse. So hard for W to cut through the Mountain Shields. So hard to go through them. But like, Doonby has almost 4,000 HP. 176 armor. A little bit of magic resist too, because it gets buffed up by the Mountain Soul. And Mountain Dragons. And he's got the Zhonyas as well. I know even if you do start cutting through that, you got the Omnivamp to deal with. Vampire on a flank, has the Hex Flash, is spotted out here with the laser over the wall. So his Hex Flash fails. Aki has himself a G8, will lose it. Cyclone starting to go forwards, but again, they can't cut through the Mountain Shields. There's just too many tank stats. Vampire pops his ult. Cube's running away though, and it is just running away from Doonby. The Chaos Storm starts to come through, has ran out, sadly. Alistair goes down, Leona goes down, but the damage is still so high HP from NIP. Taeyeon, he can't do enough. The grab field comes through. Leave has all the tankiness he needs to. And Doonby finishes up for a full house between Doonby and Leave picking up the kills. NIP, it's a 2-0. WWE had some bright moments, but NIP, clearly better team on the day. Shanji teleporting back in. The million HP zombie queuing his own teammates. So Doonby will turn golden in the Nexus. Think about the wave. Boy, using that bush to deny vision. Another W missed there from 369. You got to be quite accurate with them, actually. Gives you a lot of value hitting the W onto an enemy champion, because then you start dealing damage after that. Start getting the move speed. It has the culling in a few seconds. Ahoy doesn't have the needlework. Barrier comes through. Does he have a W? Ooh, the flash forwards. And if Relentless proceeds as well. 369.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Career. Oh, whatever. I'm going to stop molding. Dragon's going down. Top East will still take it. Sorry for some of the highlights. Chris going to get caught out. Does have the level 6. Not real potential to go towards here. Feather punted away. Has to flash for the E back to the team. And the extra stun comes through. Hang on a second. Chris could be in a bit of trouble here, because his ultimate is just about to run off. Still lasts long enough for 1XM to not kill. Page 1 walking up. Can they make this a 3-for-3 in terms of the growth? Kanavi did use the smite and walks in for the counter-strike instead. Maybe wants to pull that ultimate. That's a bit dangerous there from Kanavi. Will get out alive. Here comes Setup though. How deep does he want to go? The poke Varus gets the arrow in. 369 still has the equalizer. Where's that going? Cream also has the burst of execution and goes over towards Hoya. Still no equalizer pull. 369 can use it at any point and chooses it to use it now. Maybe not the best play ever from the top lane of Top East. I feel like there was a big ultimate waiting for him. So, all things said and done, 3-for-3 on the grub. So 369 goes over the play. The bullet time stops him. And he'll have to flash out. Beichuan still has his flash. Might have to use it soon. And the auto attack comes through. The arrow from Jack Love. Auto attack from Cream. Well, I mean, they get too far ahead. Of course, that could change at any moment. Crisp has ult, and he can start to cleanse things through. I don't think you can outplay this that easily. That being said, Crisp is running out of his ultimate. Oh, it's so close. Hoya will get that last kill. It's not the cleanest cut dive ever, and Hoya remains alive. Now, Kanavi going to get hit by the fully heated up turret. Approaches too soon, and Hoya... Dragon taken by TT. Evening the Dragons 1-1. Grubs 3-3. Feather doubling forwards, 369, no equalizer. Beichuan knows that, also knows that Chris doesn't have 369 owned turret. Hoya does have needlework if they want to go particularly aggressive. 369 goes to the overheat, needs to get a trade now before everything else kind of goes to pot. Cream, no teleport. Kanavi going with the counter-strike, buying a little bit of time. Hoya burning down. There is a Leandries, and maybe a bit of time until you can get yourself that Jaxel. He's going to die before it comes through, though. Can Cream teleport through? 369 doesn't have himself much to really play with. Cream choosing not to teleport down to the player, though it did just come off a cooldown instead of pushing a wave. Using the counter-strike. Long cooldown. Won't have that for now. TT in the river. All ultimates available for both sides. Seta maybe doesn't have that ult. Kuchambo, it's Jackie Love. Chris has to go in and gets a 3-man pulverize. Kanavi comes in for the counter-strike, and the equalizer is actually pretty good. Good bullet time, though. Puts things into a bit of a different scenario. Cream still kills the AD carry, though, and Hoya burns down. That's the problem with the Misfortune. You can't really stand and fight and use that bullet time. There's so many ways onto you. 369 was maybe wondering about it. Well, he didn't have that flash by Chris, who cleanses through the stun, the charm, rather, to get onto that. Versal, very, very valuable. But yeah, I mean, we see Kanavi get caught out by a ton of burst damage. Not that tanky. Hoya doesn't have a flash, and there's an E on top of him. Perfect execution. Part 2 not even needed. Cream, a little bit of extra help from Kanavi, takes down Hoya. Are we going in? Counter-strike starting to get charged up. Is there a bullet time? No, there isn't. That's a big thing, but there's not that much health on the Jax. Kanavi is massively overestimated his tankiness in that one. Not sure about that, but the equalizer pinned against the wall definitely helps. No perfect execution, but there's enough damage onto Feather, who gets caught out by a Varasol. TT. Ooh, Chris, no ult, no flash. Otherwise, I think he would definitely be going towards that one. TT. Dragon being taken by TT. Crisp, no flash, has ult. Cream on the flank. Spots out Hoya with a sweeper in the brush. Hoya will know he's been spotted too, though. Dodges away from the E. Crisp buff should be Kanavi, driving towards mid lane. Will take that turret. Down it goes. Bot lane goes down at the same time. Equalizer just used to do something. Suppose stop TT quickly getting towards mid lane, or just get some poke down. Anyway, the fight's now ended. No. Not always a big fan of his Misfortune, but this game is very hard for him to play. Misfortune, I think the draft makes it very, very hard to work things out. You know, you've got an Akali you can dive onto. Been very inconsistent. Setup occasionally having good games, mostly having stinkers. Hoya, similar. This game, 1,000 gold down, insisting on playing carries and not necessarily getting the most out of it. Double knock up, and that is a great equalizer this time. Feather, is he going to burn down? Yes, he is. Leandri's in the ignite, kills him very quickly. TT, playing in the wrong with the Alistair. You're feeling great. Flash ult now available too, of course. Full HP. Atkan going down. H1. Can't get anywhere close, and Cream starts diving. How do you play out this game when you have no CC for the Akali? TT walk up, and Cream just absolutely slaughters them. No smite. Atkan taken. TT, how do you play this game when you don't have any way to protect your backline? They had to do something earlier on. Use some of your early spikes to maybe get some good skirmishes, but you can't allow the Akali to just run the game. Feather's gonna get burned down too. That is just disgusting damage from the Rumble. Setup's gonna get jumped up by Kanavi as well. Another equalizer comes up, and Kanavi will clean up the play. TT falling apart. Absolutely falling apart. I think the mental is broken here from TT. They have struggled this split. TT have not found an identity for themselves. They were the aggressive, diving combo team in team fights in Split 1, where they had the Vi and Bessa Kai'Sa compositions, the Ahri as well, the setup, amongst other things. And 1xN walks up. I don't know what's happening here, man. Flashes away from Cream. I think they're losing track of Web. It's been very, very good hit. Double Medjai's is called out in chat as well. Oh, that's a strong Rumble, man. Hoya probably just dies for this. Objective bounty is nice. It is, however, 4 Medjai stacks over to 369. One of the better things about Atkan is that even if you do die, you don't actually lose your Medjai stacks. While all that's happening, Feather looks like he tried to combo onto Cream. It failed. And now they have no CC for the bullet time. They still have the Atkan. It's 27 minutes in. Very short game so far. Kanavi goes forwards, and Feather goes down. Jackie still has an arrow to throw into the plate. Kanavi did lose his Atkan earlier somehow, some way. The bullet time comes down, but it is enough. The Collector surprising him with that extra execute. 1xN, at least able to get something there in such a hard game for the Misfortune. Medjai stacks now have to Cream for the assist too, though. Onto Feather. Top Beast will take double inhibitors. And Thunder Talk have been more like a rumbling in the clouds in the distance this game. Not near, not close, not a threat. But the other day. So particularly TT and WE, they just don't look like they belong in Group Ascend. Feather getting an engage over the wall. 369 wants to protect those Medjai stacks. Needs to be a little bit careful. Doesn't have that flash, but he's done enough. Hoya comes into the play, but I don't think he's going to do enough either. Jackalov has both summoners, and Cream comes to party. He has the execution part 2 if he really needs to. Goes in again and escapes with the E. Maybe even fly back in. Does he feel like... Oh, yes, he does. Flash is trying to do a mind game. Oh, he's feeling it. Flash is out of his own E. And TT getting styled on. Cream, 45. Back when they had the death caps amp ratio actually got nerfed a little bit. Before that happened when it was at 30, I was like 35. Oh my god, 1x's just dead. He's just dead. He's just gone. This Akali is uncapped. The only thing which can stop Akali is an instant Rakan combo. Even the Slayer, I don't think can stop him at this point. Cream is having the time of his life. Smerjar's at 20 stacks, 5 AP per stack, 100 AP, an extra, extra bit on top of it too. He's got more than a death cap worth of AP there. Shadow Flame giving him 100. This is the highest AP Akali build you can possibly get. With some flat pen on top of it too. He is going to do horrible, horrible things, and it has been doing them the entirety of the game. How depressing has this got to be for TT? You have been utterly outclassed. Make it to Group Ascend and get decked by almost every team up here. Had the one win, of course, but in their 5th series. Feeling like they're a little out of sorts. Chris goes in, has the level 2 ultimate. The equalizer comes down. Varusol hits too. Beitran losing a lot of HP. 1xN, again, just not able to stand and fight. There's no CC. TT have no answers to the long range of top esports on that equalizer and the Varus. And they have no answer to the diving carries as well. Kanavi going forward. It's going to get a knock-up from Feather, but now they have nothing left for the Akali. Cream can maybe just go in instead. The charm comes through. There is a little bit of tankiness. The bullet time does some work, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. Feather very, very nearly dying. Survives through the burn. Top esports have stayed in this base for a number of minutes now, and they have slowly whittled down these turrets. In a quick game, Kanavi flashing forwards to put a bow on top of the present. TT kept on the Nexus. The Varusol spreading. The corruption knows no limits here. Nexus falls. Top esports 1-0 in the series. Draft diff? I think it was. Crispus was one of the very best Renatas on release and since then, really. Even when Crisp was inconsistent, his Renata was very, very good. Maybe get a spear onto the wall onto Satap. There is a ward on Raptors, makes it a little easier. Crisp and Jackie Love, not often players which play with mini-maps on. They're pretty bad at getting 2v3'd. Wait, Kanavi's under turret here. Hang on, Satap might need to flash it. That's a problem. Can get the red buff on target. Oh, flashing from Beitran, who's going to get the first blood. Kanavi goes forward, has the red buff, and does get it. Cream will die in response. And Beitran, oh my god, no, he doesn't. Gets the E4, gets the shield. Oh my word, Cream lives. Such a good player of the Yone. Played it so much over... Close is not on the blade spike here. 369 still has a Q. They're going to start trying to put everything together. The Dominus comes through and the knockup is failed. The double Q can come through from 369 now. That's a bit of a problem. The next time his Slice and Dice comes up, that could be an issue. When's his next Q? Uses his Empowered W, needs to get himself the Empowered Q and can't get it. Doesn't expect page 1 on top side. 369 goes down. Not the first time we've seen 369 in an extended lane misjudging where the enemy team is. Did that a lot last year. Was better at it in split 1, but still something that we recall from recent history. Dragon goes to the side of... No, he can't change it. But he can choose... He does get the Black Spear in inventory, though. And he can give someone a chance to use his ults, Feather. Currently, out of vision. Cream needs to be a little careful here. No 6 for 3. Feather uses the ult, but body blocked. Cream gonna get body blocked again. And Beitran uses that Q flash to stop Cream from getting out. Well played for a TT. Beitran and Feather on the map in the last few minutes. The whole team doesn't have the ult. He's dying here, probably. Not gonna have a recall. You can't recall against a Nidalee when you're under task. One of the more annoying things too. And we have Jackalove up here too. He's taking aggro. Teleport comes in. That might be a mistake. They do disengage the play right now though and choose not to go for the dive. They go straight onto Setup instead. Oh, it wasn't the Ord. It was the Corki. Hostile takeover. That teleport sucked. Tower's gonna fall. Top esports will take all 5 plates. There is no cross-map for TT. They chose to bring the Corki to that lane. Bring him away from the lane bot side. So Cream even gets time down there. Look at this. Look at the minimap. Push up towards the tops. I think 369, Bin, Breathe, Ala. Probably our best Renekton's in the region. Flandre used to be, but used to be up there too. I don't think necessarily now. Use those empowered abilities, which is so powerful in the early game. They're about double the power of a regular ability, right? And you can't burst him out because he has the Dominus. Not at this point of the game. You can later on, but not until you get towards, like, 3 items. And 369, yeah, he wants to use that power. He wants to use that power. The Ornn comes in. He doesn't get to pop the Dominus. Has the bailout. And And 369 goes too far. You're strong, mate, but you're not 1v4 alone strong. 369 had all the gold in the world. What was the play there? But Cream walks forward onto Setup, tries to get another play back. As well onto Feather, can't finish off him. 1-for-1, but 369, for all we were talking about, Renekton's so strong in the early game. You can't do everything. You're not Superman. Hoya eats a spear. Might have to run away now. And he's going to have to run back towards his turret. Gets the ult forwards. 1xN lucky to get out alive. JackeyLove running forwards again. This is style points. Double kill for JackeyLove. Top esports. Don't get the they don't get the Herald, rather, but they will get damn near everything else. What was Setup thinking there? I don't know. Setup, to me, has really looked uncomfortable today. He's looked out of sorts. I know that Setup can have some off games, but... Oh my god, another recall stuff. Are you kidding me? Does probably live through that. Like, you can do some stupid stuff. He had Flash, you know? Dragon. Being started by TT. Renekton coming back to the plate. Oh, during the replay, I missed that. What? Okay, here comes the Ornn. Remember, there's no Renata ult this time. The Renata throws the ult back, though, and Setup is getting jumped on by Cream, rather, and Hoya is left out to dry. The damage just simply isn't there from TT, and Top Esports find an angle. TT, too quick to go towards the Dragon. Couldn't find a clean pick on. They've just looked like they've been outclassed. And remember, Thundertalk picked red side this game for the draft. Ruinous Ascan up and available. Beichuan does have no flash, in fact. That's very confusing. 369 going in again. Does have Dominus this time. Where is his Q? Using the power W instead. And the Renata over the top. This time he actually lives. Turns out Renekton is pretty tanky if you use everything. It is a two-man Yodel onto both carries. Cream completely obliterating TT. Great Yonel. Great Renata ult. It is a donut team fight for Top Esports as Krispy Kreme take Thundertalk apart. Stack Dark Seal for Kadavi as well. 3,000 gold in the individual. In a turret. This series could have been an email. This series could have been an email. TT have not really turned up to play. Game 1, the draft was hard and their play was not adequate. This game, choose red side. Draft needed to sort of... great ult from Cream. Great ult. Onto both carries who are stacked up. Insane. Now we're going to fight when we come back to live on 1xN. Nothing he can do in this game. Has felt like he's just looked at his team falling apart. He's ended up joining them with very little to say about it. Creamy is going so deep and has all the cooldowns to do so. Hoya, it's looking like a little bit of a fake there. Call it the forgery god for Hoya. Does absolutely nothing. Top Esports at 24 minutes. Break the base. They have a Herald. They have 6 Scrubs. They have a Ruinous Atta. Can't help even that. This game is over before 25 minutes. 6 Scrubs turned into 7.25 after Ruinous Atakan and Top Esports. This series could have been an email. Oh, the sound is so delayed. Jesus, what is happening with the stream audio today? This is on the clean feed as well, so I don't know what's happening with them. Breathe. Shanks going for the 1v1. Dominus popped. The Ignite popped as well. Blade does a lot of damage, but I don't know if you can really do much. And the ult misses. That'll be the end of it. Wasn't particularly close.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
A bit further. He does have Braum potentially able to run to if he wants. Most importantly, Tarzan just slowing down Tien. Smite available for both of these guys now, and it resets. That's a problem. Tien does get his Q short range. Tarzan not putting any auto attacks down. Q lands over the wall. Flandre doing okay in the individual level, but Breed's actually going into melee range. Oh, Breed's individual laning is absolutely sublime. Flandre loses the 1v1 with the first pick, Jace. And the LEC was talking about Exodium, didn't exactly get the reference, did he? Kyle gets hooked in. He still has shield, still has the W. Don't think there's much he can do here. Gets the Braum passive, and the wall start on top of it. Remember, there is a Jinx ult, and Hope gets the reset. Xiaohu is here and does have Shuffle, but needs to be afraid of the minefield. I completely agree. Flandre. Ooh, might be in a bit of trouble here. There was ult used top lane before. Breathe Does have flash. Chen does have no... Well, he doesn't have ultimate. Flandre needs to flash to survive this. And he's dead anyway. Oh, Flandre. We were just building up as the best top laner in the LPL. But individual... Dragon being taken from anyone's legend now. Besides that top lane, it has all been anyone's legend. Breathe. Alone on top side now. Q misses. Kyle on the roam. Tarzan on the roam. Yeah, and it doesn't feel so good playing a dash champion into the Poppy now. And Hope is very strong, but he's CC'd on the turret. The tower hits him and Breathe pins him in place. Breathes and Bessa is far too clean. Has anyone's legends gone too far now? There's a sweep. Light is coming to the plate and Tarzan goes down. But make no mistake, it is Breathe which outplays under the top lane turret to bring Weibo to a 6-kill mark. And again, Weibo are a team that wants to show they are still a top-tier outfit. This Dragon. That is why this series matters. It matters for the vibes, it matters for the eye test, it matters for that benchmarking. Poppy ult comes through, but it doesn't get anything. Dragon's still on the table. Talir ult used. Looks like it's going to come down to a smite fight. Xiaohu, does he feel like he can go for a shuffle? Don't really think so, it's hard to do so. Hook comes through, the W's used, and so it has the E. Kai'Sa kills it. And it's suddenly the Jinx with the reset to the North goes down, and Xiaohu does find the shuffle. But is it enough? They get themselves the Talir, but the Jinx is still up and alive. I think Hope has just reset his way through. They get everyone but the Jinx. And it is an arcane moment again. Hope with a triple kill. Or is it the fact that his support hooked into a wall at level 1, and then the enemy jungler camped the shit out of his bot lane to the point where he could never see the light of day? Herald coming through, Wallstone coming through from Tarzan as well, Reset coming through from the tower, and potentially from the Nautilus as well. Oh, Hong's down again, and Breathe this time can't make an impact, has to flash his way out of the play. Oh, this is a problem. Weibo had a bright moment. Xiaohu's on vision on the side, but that one dragon fight might have just spelled the difference. They couldn't kill Hope in that last play, and that might be the... Looking to see if we can go on to Hope, who doesn't have flash. Chompers will help. There's still a flash ult from Tien. Q's long cooldown. He'll get the slow on to Hope, but that's not enough. Needs to get the passive for Light to shine through. And they'll get it now. Tries to get that escape, but not allowed. Hope will go down, and Light picks up that gold. That's important. That's a shutdown. He was 2.5k gold behind now. So what's the score at now? Shanks takes the top lane turret. This is why I didn't like the Azir last pick, because it's so hard to make an impact in this game. Dragon's going to go to the side of Annual's Legend. But much like we saw, say, for instance, from the Misfortune earlier, there was a ward here, though. Xiaohu, I believe he actually might have putting that one down earlier. No, it must have been Kyle, actually, Hung, rather. Going down. Xiaohu could go on the flank. Can he find a flank around the anti-dive? The E used. The Poppy ult misses. That's important. Hope is getting flanked onto. He has a flash, but is that going to be enough? It's onto the traps. Hope is alive, though, and he gets the reset. Breathe goes onto the traps, and Hope takes him down. There was a steal, though. Weibo did take the Atakan at the cost of 1. They'll put up the Azir turret. The flowers still go to Anyone's Legend. It's a bit of a split. Xiaohu, wonder when he's going to hit those margins. They're giving Dragon, I guess they are. Want to set up towards that Baron. Dragon gone. Two dragons. Single directional team fight. Shanks spotted. Hung coming over the wall. Has a flash. Does he want to get in with an ultimate? Sees this, and he goes for the Hexgate. Hope still has no flash. They must kill the Jinx, and they fail to do so. And Bessa loses the honorable duel. Where have we seen that one in animated fashion before? And Xiaohu gets stunned, flashes back out, but you have to deal with the Jinx. You must deal with the Jinx, and the Azir can't. Hung can't. It is Demolition Derby. Hope walks away again with murder in his eyes. Tien will go down, and Anyone's Legend with a 5,000 damage team fight from their AD carry will take the Ruinous, well, not the Ruinous Atakan, but will take the Grubs and march towards the Nexus. Hope will get resetting, and I think Weibo, by taking that Dragon and foregoing the setup of the Baron, just sign their own death warrant. Anyone's Legend came off of a stinging loss to top Esports, and then came back, beat BLG, take the first game against Weibo, who are looking for some redemption themselves after, and instead come back in another game and absolutely sweep. I want to see 3 games. I want to see this work out. LPL has never been an Ivern region. We're done right now. Big mid lane pressure, though, from Shanks. Makes this a little bit weird. Hung goes forwards. Needs to be a bit careful here, actually. Gonna get jumped onto. Light and Hope also having a 1v1. They both have barrier. Is that going to lead to anything particularly nice? Oh, Hung. Caught way too far out. First blood, and this is now a problem. Kyle forces the play on the bot side after Hung overstep. Why are these early games determined so much? Oh, can he flash for the last order? No, he can't. These early games determined by mistakes from Hung. Light, thrown under the bus again. Get this AD carry a real support. What can he do? He just watched his support walk up under river. Get nothing done. Is there going to be an execute? No, it will be a kill at least. So at least it's 1-for-1. But Hung, a big misstep. I think Tien was already a little bit greedy going towards that bot side scuttle crab, knowing that his mid lane was losing so heavily. But look, there was just a bit of a shake of the head there from Light. He does get the BF sword back. That's actually not the worst thing ever. The BF sword makes it more tolerable, I think. That makes it playable again. But how bad should that have been? What are you doing? Why am I watching a support player run it down live in my game? What has he done? Aladdin's a huge red soul. You can't take them personally. I know that. But also, like, they're just rude and arrogant. And I want people to understand that. Because actually people do reply to me and shit too. But you know. Wait, the mainstream... there is no mainstream, by the way, Rin. It is just a fan broadcast, the LPL English, by the way. But the LPL English, hang on a second. Taz is going in for a... That's a great combo from Hung. That might just about help. But now he's caught into the play. Kyle goes down, though. Astral helping. This is stuck into the play. Taza goes into Mellow and Shanks comes through. Hung has to flash out. Alistair bring out value there. Flandre is here. Want to really kill Daisy, I guess, and they do. So that's the ultimate down. Grubs are up. Not having Daisy. Want to use this gold lead and get towards some more dragons. They're not cross mapping right now. Akali doesn't have teleport, is in base. They'd be looking at us at a... Hang on a second. Light caught out a little bit. Kyle jumped on. That's the end of that. Tarzan does have ult. Can he cast it in time? There's a lot of CC. And a lot of damage comes back. The Yone ult's good and is into the bullet time. Kill onto Tarzan. He doesn't even push his ultimate button. Breathe into the backline. Flashes out immediately. And anyone's legend. A lazy approach to the dragon. Lazy indeed. Weibo get the dragon. Get a kill. Get out. Gold lead's now 500, not 1,000. Breathe approach on the top side. Level 11 from Shanks has that tier 2 ultimate. Gets some good damage down. No flash on him. Hits the E and it's a clean as you like. Shanks with a little bit of help from Kyle. Gets a kill. There's the impact we wanted to see. Close to the stacks on the tier at least. Shanks, no ultimate. Does he have the W? Hung. Trying to get that pulverize. Oh, good flash away from Shanks. Outplays him there. Knock up onto Hope. He has no flash. That's a dead AD carry. Weibo getting a little bit lost in transition. Not sure why he was heading up by that path. You had to know you're in trouble without flash. Tarzan going over the wall. Now they think there's a fight coming in. They don't have all of their pieces here. No breathe. Teleport in from the Akali. Doesn't have the ultimate, but Xiao who's caught out. And Weibo, despite a good dragon fight earlier, are picked apart by anyone's legend. They'll get themselves the 5 Grub Herald and also... Hang on a second, he's trying to stop some backs. That was Kyle doing. Redemption on the Ivern, gone for the Moonstone first. Moonstone's important, of course, but yeah, the Redemption feels like it is very important in a lot of these plays. The AoE heal exactly doing that much this game. God, even 1,000 gold in support. Kyle's going to be better. Second Hung, he has flash. Is he going to have to blow it again? Slowed down. Has to use that ultimate. Still has flash. Tarzan comes through, teleport comes through, and here comes the Aurora ultimate. Daisy's in the choke point. Teleport comes through, and even Xiao has to immediately flash. That's a good equalizer. Is that enough, though? It's good damage, and the bullet time gets good value, too. But it's all into frickin' Tresengard. Breathe. Has an overheat, but that's not enough. There's no turret here either. Hung goes down, and Light does not have anything left in the tank. Weibo die again. 5 for none. Clean ace. Anyone's legend. Objective bounties are up across the board for Weibo, who are now 7,000 rather. Gold down. Hung flashed over the wall. Sweet Jesus, not again, Hung. I mean, Kyle is going to get caught. Actually, maybe it's the other support getting caught this time. Oh, who am I kidding? Xiao, who very nearly goes down, and Kyle. Oh, such a support diff in this series. Jumping forwards, Hung goes down, and Kyle lives. Of course he does. Anyone's legend. A team to watch in the LPL for sure. Finalists from Split 1. Taking important victories here in Split 2. Breathe goes forward. Tarzan pulls the ult. Tarzan has to flash away. Breathe trying to get some damage down and has some burning to do. Carl does go down. Breathe gets something from it. And considering they're this far down, the double kill for Breathe, what more can you ask of the guy? This top laner for Weibo has tried his goddamn best in this series. It just has not been enough when it's mattered the most. Hung is my goat. I'm betting on anyone's leg. I swear to God, man. Oh, God. Oh, no! No! Oh, he's running it down! Oh, Hung! I can't believe this! What is this player doing? This man may well be subbed out for the next series because of this. Shanks dodges out. Has the W, dodging out some auto attacks as well. Doing some extra damage, has the E. Does he want to fly back? Doesn't have the ultimate, unlikely. 10. Oh. Words fail me. Words fail me. That's going to be the cue of the wall, and maybe Hope has to pop the Barry. He does. And maybe that's enough. That's going to be the bullet time coming through. Good pick. Q over the wall. Teleport coming in. Rumble has the equalizer. Doesn't have flash. Oh, escape cancelled. Kyle will die for this. Shanks doesn't have an angle through. 2 kills very quickly. Good route. Teleport into the mid lane. Flundrich and a wave clear out that next wave. Doesn't have the ultimate. Tarzan, does he go into that wave? Now, he gets hit by that as well. Has the ultimate, though. He's a lot safer. Akali takes the tower on the top side. Doesn't have that teleport. Splitting the map. Daisy pins him in place. Mid lane turret comes down. So only 3 kills come from Weibo. Good snowball. That Ivan, critical to the last minute of play. That's why even 2 plays. 2 towers coming through. Remember, they get objective bounties for this. Waves died. Oh, catch him under the turret. Turret shot comes through, but Tian lives just about. He's getting himself a recall. Oh no, breathe! Breathe, no! Breathe no more while all this is happening. Shanks gets a tower. Weibo are not allowed to have nice things. Weibo, consistently inconsistent, strike again in a way that only Weibo can. 3 kills. No, that's not true. I don't know, you just say it's like, yeah, no, you just say it's a KT roster experience. I think that makes sense, right? Baron goes down. Anyone's legend had a bit of a tee-hee. Pushing in across the map. Seekers, oh, Kyle catches out the duo of support and top lane light behind it, and he just can't do anything. The equalizer is not bad, and the redemption is also not awful. Shanks has that redemption. Can he get the R2 off? He can just about get up with the flash. And somehow Shanks lives. How? I have no idea. But his HP is above 0, and that's all that matters. Anyone's legend have made a tragedy out of Weibo's day. Weibo are no longer a top team within our LPL. Anyone's legend crushed them into the mid-table. Will stay afloat at the top at 4-1 for their first 5 series.